Hello, it's Katrine, and it is Wednesday, December 15th. I have this beautiful little overlay here. You want to see this one? Yes, it's Christmas soon. Or this one. No, this one is too sunny. Wait a second. I'm going to go for this one. Or maybe none. There we go. Well, this is actually Restream. So I'm using Restream. I'm coming to you through Restream, and that means we are currently live on 4 different channels, which is always lovely. So happy Wednesday. Happy pre-holiday season. I'm sure everybody is in complete stress right now because we all have so much to do before the Christmas or holiday season starts, especially for the ones celebrating it. It's just a crazy time. So we are coming live to you with one more new feature this year, and I wanted to show you how it will look like. And it's all about adding your production costs to your costs overall in Blend Precisely, because I think that is actually really important. Often we overlook all these small little charges, but if you're able to put all of the charges into your costs, you will be most likely coming out on the other end with quite a bit of profit. So we decided to add this one. Let me just check quickly if we are live. We decided to add this feature because it is a fundamental part actually of production costs as well. And overall costs and overhead costs and so on. So there's normally always an error margin. There's your cost, what your time involved in producing your products are costing. And so this week we definitely going to. Okay, it's live. Perfect. So this feature is going to help you to actually be even more professional in your cost calculation. And that is actually something what you want to include most likely, especially if you are going into bulk production, or if you even create a product just for your customer. You want to make sure you get your production time in there. So often we have already a consultation fee, let's say $45 an hour. And I saw many times people are actually already including the price into their cost calculation, which is one way to do it, or into their consultation calculation. There are so many calculation words in there. So it's one way to do it, that you have consultation fees, and then you say, okay, it's $45 for a 1-hour consultation, and that includes one product. But sometimes I see that there is no consultation fee, and then the costs are really, really low, uh, the retail price or the price itself. So we are cutting ourselves short most of the time, and that is not the way to run a business. So you do not want to cut yourself short. So if you at least have an overview and you include all of your costs, if it is a consultation or not, if you're still sitting there and figuring everything out, right? You're looking at your label cost. You start out first of all researching, then so there's already time you have in just researching what kind of blend is good for your customer, or what kind of product you want to get out into the market. Then the next step is going to be that you want to calculate and cost it out. You want to make sure that you have all your production costs in there, including the label and the bottles and the packaging and lids and the seals around and all of these costs. But if you take all of that time together for just one single product, you're often looking at like 1 to 2 hours. Now that's normal in the beginning, that if you create a brand new product, you most likely will spend 1 to 2 hours or 3 hours or 4 hours, actually even more, because you have to go through several reiterations. But if you have one customer and you had a consultation for $45, and then you go out and start researching what is best for the customer. Now, given that when we start out, it will take more time in our research and looking up our essential oil blends. Once we are a little bit further in, we know already, okay, there are certain blends, they will always work. We will reuse them. And then it's great because it takes you maybe 5 to 10 minutes to put them together. So we have to be really, really aware of all of the costs coming together, because a business will only run if you create profit and if you have enough time to actually run your business. And if we continue to just always create new products, new blends, they take a lot of time away. So I always say in my courses, but also here, I always say that it's really important that you only focus on a couple of products. And when you start out, just don't go crazy. There I mean, I'm even guilty myself of creating 10, 15, 20 products. Trying to do all of these products and getting them out on the market, it's an impossibility. It's not only costly, but it will also just really cut you short on marketing time and business in general, business time. So I can be pretty surely saying that if you have 10, 15, 20 products in the very beginning, that the business won't fly, because you will not have enough time or money left to go after the other business side, which is marketing, social media, creating an email list, branding, all of the stuff which belongs to a business, keeping your website up to date, writing blogs, newsletters, all of this one. So anyway, hi, Jackie. Hello. Hello, Katrine. Oh, Donna. um, hey, Donna. Seth must have read my mind when he added this feature. Yes. Well, um, I think he is probably this year. For this year, this is going to be the last feature. But for the next year, we definitely have more in the pipeline. But yes, you're right. Absolutely right. It was already on our, and the next one is actually going to be stock blending. So this year we're going to finish up with this feature, production time and production cost. And next year we're going to add the stock blending that's going to be the next feature, actually, the stock blending, so you can save everything to your own synergy blends or stock blends or anything else. So that's going to be the next one coming out. Okay, but what I'm going to do is I'm just going to share a quick slideshow and get you into the app itself quickly. So I'm going to give you a really good overview, and then I will basically get you a few more announcements, and that's going to be it for this week. So let me get started. Yeah, stock blends, exactly, right, Donna? It's about time. Okay, let me just, where is it? Share screen. Here we go. Share my screen, the window. Here we go. Share. So you should see me. Okay, you know that I love Canva, right? So let me go back to the very first spot, and that's where it should be. Go into presenter mode, standards, and present. So let me just go over here and get you just quickly set up. So it's about production cost and production time this time. So there are basically 3 simple steps now. And first of all, you're going to see hourly rate here on top. Then you're going to see the production time here. And then you will see the production cost down here after COGS. So basically, you add your hourly rate first, create a blend, and then you will add the production time. So let me show you. First, you know the little petal and stem preferences up here where petal and stem is mentioned. It's your preference section. So you go into your preferences, and then you will see this new little addition, I guess, specify your hourly rate. So you put your hourly rate in here, and then you just go ahead and click save. Then you go back home, and you will be adding just a new formulation. And once you're done with your formulation, you want to go ahead and click or add the formulation name, and then you're just going to save the formulation. And then the third step is that you're going to add your production time. Now you can also do this before, but sometimes people tend to forget not saving their formulations, and then they click somehow clear or something else, and then your formulation is gone. So always want to make sure once you're done with your formulation, you're just going to enter the name of your formulation, then it will be saved, and then you can enter the production time here on the right hand side. And the production time will be in minutes. So you have your hourly rate and it will be in minutes. And then it will calculate automatically the production time in here on the lower level. So if you want to do a little bit, so why production time is important, I mentioned that a little bit before, and why we think it should be added for most of your production, especially if you go out into the market, or if you have, even just to check, really, are you getting the right retail price in, or are you getting the right total price in if you already include the tax and the shipping for the customer? So why I think it is so important, and how you can actually save on production time and costs as well, is try to, maybe what I mentioned before, not create 10 to 20 products in your product line. So I think with every product you bring out onto the market, you will be basically creating it. You will be adding a lot of time and reiterations. You will need to figure out the label. You have to figure out the design, the size of the label, the lids, everything. So if you continuously create new products, then you're going to run into this product creation hamster wheel. So I'm a big fan of these few products in the very beginning. Like, have like one master product basically, where you know it's going to fly off the shelves. It's going to be the product you want to sell. And then the other ones can either be a combination which will create like a really nice, let's say you do body products. So you have like a best runner, which is your body lotion. So you could do like a body scrub, and you have maybe a facial serum, and then you maybe have some kind of a dry shampoo bar or something like this. But you probably want to find out what your bestseller is, and then just add another couple or 3 products. And what I like to do is always choose one day a week where I actually go into production mode, and that is on Fridays normally. So I only waste my time cleaning up and setting everything up once a week. I don't do it daily. So that reduces the amount of time you keep on cleaning up and setting up and wiping the countertop down, basically getting it all right for your production. If you do it every single day, then you will be spending every day an amount of time where you really should be normally maybe taking care of some new customers. And then consider doing bulk production to divide up the production time. Often one product takes almost the same amount of time as creating 10 products. So, of course, when we create a new product, we are focusing on this one product. But if you figured out your product formulation and you know it's a go ahead, then you might be better off in creating immediately 10 of those pieces, or 20 when you know it's going to be a bestseller. Because then you don't need to run back and produce more, and the time will be shortened. So I'm loving the way of bulk everything. I do bulk email preparation, bulk social media preparation, bulk product preparation, so that the time around it is actually getting much, much more shortened than if I were to diddle and daddle every single day about a few things, about a few products. So this is actually where I save time mostly in production time. And then I can say, it's like, if I create 10 products at a time, then this will be maybe 45 minutes, and one product is 25 minutes. So really what I'm adding is just another 20 minutes to 8 or 9 more products. So number 2, I think, is really a nice point as well, where it's actually nice to have like a day a week where you do your production, and you schedule that in, and that's when you're gonna do it. I love that time. I put on my music, and then just that day I'm actually producing my products. And if you have Blend Precisely already, you can just log in right now and it will be right there. And I'm going to show you in a live version in the moment. If you do not have Blend Precisely, you can go to blendprecisely.io and actually try it out for 14 days. And then you can decide if you like it or not. But it is blendprecisely.io, not .com. I think that is the difference, really. .io. And then let's go over just to the live version for a moment. Donna, that's awesome. Donna says, I think I finally found my main products, a relaxing diffuser blend and the pain balm. They're the two that people ask for most. I love that. See, that's what you really want to go for. You do want to know what your master product is going to be in your production line, because that one you can create over and over again. For example, for Christmas, every year for Christmas, my main products that sell the most are my 4 scrubs. I've got 4 scrubs. I sell them over and over again. And right after that, I've got massage blends, and I have 3 of those. So these master, and that's over time now. I'm doing those ones since 4 or 5 years. Every year, 4 or 5 years. So as I said in the beginning, I started out with way too many products, but now I really came back to 4 scrubs, 3 massage blends, and then I've got 1 facial serum that is like so wanted and so needed, and it sells over and over again. And then, of course, with the consultations and so on, that's something different. But yeah, it's really nice to know what your best sellers are, because you can just go on and go big on them. So that's great, Donna. That's really, really good. So let me just share quickly the live version. So let me just go here. I hope you were able to see my screen, right? Donna, can you just give me a go ahead if you saw the screen and the slideshow, or was I just talking? I think it should have come out. Okay. Just give me like a go ahead if you saw the slideshow I just presented. You didn't? No. Okay. Well, that is not good. Just you, Katrin Birkholz. Okay. All right. I will record that separately. So let me just go in here. That's always lovely. Yeah, thank you, Jackie. I must have forgotten to. It's the end of the year. I tell you, the end of the year for me is marvelous. So here is my little slideshow. I just went through 9 slides, and I guess you didn't see any of them. So here you go. These were the slides. So I was mentioning that you put in your hourly rate, your production time, and your production cost will show up here. I'm going to go through it really quickly. My apologies. Then you have to specify your hourly rate under your preferences, and then go ahead and click Save. Step number 2 is create your formulation, save your recipe. Step number 3 is add your production time, and then play around a little bit with your production time as well. I love doing that. Step number 4 was what I just mentioned. Create these 3 things, what I like to do, just have like a master product, create only 4 to 5 products in your product line, especially when you start out. Choose 1 or 2 days a week to only do production, because that will save a lot of headaches around the time you spend. And then consider doing bulk production, especially for the best sellers. If you know them, Donna, like this one, I would create 10 or 15 products right away. Of course, if the shelf life is really, really short, then you don't want to do this. But if you have a longer shelf life and you know that the products will leave basically within the next couple of weeks or 3 weeks, then you can produce probably 10 products at the same time. Then I was saying you can log in right now and it will be there. if you don't have Blend Precisely, go to blendprecisely.io. There's a 14-day trial. So the difference here was blendprecisely.io, not .com. And then we will talk about that in a little moment. So let me go over here. So actually, when you logged out and you come in just normal, that's where we started out. You go ahead first. If you want to put in your hourly rate, as you can see, it's over here. And here's the production time. And then it will show up once you start your formulation. But if you want your hourly rate right away and you say, you know what, I'm going to keep it in here. Let's say your hourly rate for your production, and you can change that for your consultation fee. You can have 45 here if you do mostly consultation. But for your production time, you say maybe, you know what, I'd like to pay myself $15 an hour. And you should be doing that. So go ahead and click save. And then the production time shows up here, $15 an hour. Now keep in mind that for every single formulation, you can go up and down. You can change this right here. But once you go out and you saved your formulation and you go back in, it will be set back to the preferences choice. So just keep that in mind. And then you can start your formulation. So I'm going to go and do a very, very quick one. I'm just going to do an almond one just to actually present the cost here. I'm going to put 98% in here. I'm going to have lavender in here. Let's do this one, 1%, and then let's do an orange one. And let's put this one in. So we have a 100% formulation. It's going to go into an amber bottle, 100 milliliters for $1.55. So again, the formulation cost is $5.84. The packaging is $1.55. So that brings your COGS to $7.39. Now, as you can see, the production costs I don't have in here right now. Let me just save this one as a test. Go ahead, test today, and go ahead and so I don't forget it. And then the retail price with a markup right now of 3, so it's basically $7.39 times 3 is $22.17. Now, if you add a production time, this one is like a very simple one, especially if you do cosmetic blending. It's not counting drops or anything. You just do the weighing, the scale thing. Then it goes really fast. Like it's 98 grams of almond, it's 1 gram of lavender, and 1 gram of sweet orange. It's so simple. You put this all into the bottle, you put your label on, for example, and you can just go ahead and let's see if I have my labels in here. Okay, and then I've got my label, and then I can go ahead and add my production time. And maybe if everything is set up, it literally took me 10 minutes. So still with 10 minutes at $15 an hour, you're coming to $2.50 in your time. So you really want to consider and say, oh, you know what? Maybe I'm going to make 5 of those ones. So by 5, you might add just another 10 minutes of production time. So if, let's say you added 5, you make 5 products, 20 minutes, 20 divided by 5, or you can actually go here and go up to 500 grams. It will be 4 minutes per product then. So then it comes down to $1. So you really are looking at shortening this price quite a bit. So you want to make sure that you basically go ahead and do your production costs in here carefully. Then it will be added, and there are these little information icons here. This retail price includes your COGS, so meaning this price here, right? Then you add the markup factor is added and the production costs here. Now, if you add, of course, your sales tax and you're going to ship this item, then you're going to look at $32.30. So this would be for this 100 milliliter or 100 gram product. including your production cost. And you know what? If you actually add your production costs as well, you most likely will give yourself a little bit of an error margin in here. So let's say the product didn't arrive, or 1 out of 10 products got lost in mail, and you have to reimburse someone. All these costs are being deducted at the end of the year from your paycheck, or at the end of the month. And if you put for yourself a buffer in there, and you're really worth it, the time as well, so the production costs. So you have the option to use production costs, or you have to go up in your profit margin somehow. So one of these two things you need to do, because you cannot just take this price and do times two and then it's all done, because you do have overhead costs. You have lighting, you have paper costs, you have printer cartridges and whatnot else. So try to be as accurate as you can get in order for you to make your business really run smoothly. So let me see if you see any questions here. Let me just go ahead and stop sharing for a moment. Let's see. Hey, Tracy. Nice to see you too. You haven't missed anything, Tracy, by the way, not too much. It's being recorded, but it looks like that I was pretty crazy in the beginning and didn't even show my slideshow and just my face. Like, very embarrassing. But it's the end of the year. um, Donna says, I really like this feature. I was adjusting my markup some to compensate for my time. This is going to be much easier and nicer. Thank you, Seth. I will let him know as well. Yes, I think it's more accurate actually too, in terms of splitting up your time and your costs, and then you can adjust it as well for a later recipe. Yeah, so correct, Tracy. So the production time is always in minutes. And let me just make sure I show you these little information icons Seth put in. So all of these ones will basically give you a little bit more feedback. Enter your production time in minutes. This is your hourly rate. And then it is always mentioned, if you hover over them, they are little tool tips. So they will let you know what they are all about. So we are trying to make this all a little bit more smooth. How do you like these icons? We just added them actually for this release as well, just to add some little colors, I guess. But let me know how you like those little icons over here as well. They are out, you can see them. Yeah, so in minutes, so if you do 60 minutes or 10 minutes or 2 minutes or 1 minute, always minutes. Good question. Exactly. Yeah, so oops, I should stop sharing. I love this feature. Perfect. Yes, you're welcome, Tracy. I think that's a really good feature. So now let's say you have, for example, consultation fees, right? And you produce, let me go back. I'm always excited about like different scenarios. But anyway, so let's say you have actually a consultation and your hourly rate normally in this consultation was 45 minutes. And then you go ahead and create a product actually, and you say, you know what, the first product I'm just going to let go at a lower markup, or you even go just one-on-one. So you could say, you get my consultation for $45, and then I'm going to give you the product for a reduced rate. So you, instead of marking it up, if it's a consultation, you just want to give it pretty much at costs. You can decide to do maybe a small markup. You could go ahead and just put in your hourly rate here, and then you will say, okay, this will cost you $66.10. If your hourly rate for a consultation is 25, you can adjust it over here as well. So I think I would definitely start playing around a little bit, and depending if you have consultation fees or not, how you want to enter the time for your consultations or your product creations. So I think at all times, you probably want to make sure that you at least get the costs out of the product. So if you give a consultation for $45 for an hour, but you were not to charge for any of this, you're basically cutting yourself short already. Even if you go by nothing so far, you just keep it as one, you're cutting yourself short by $12. So that means you had a consultation, $45 minus $12 in costs for the production of the product for the client. So you're looking at $33. And then you pay taxes, and then you pay self-employment taxes and all of this stuff. So you're going to end up with what, 10, 15 bucks maybe. But you had a consultation for an hour, you did follow-up emails, you had to get them, you had marketing costs, you did a follow-up, the sending and shipping it to the post office. So you cannot really not cut yourself short there at all. I think it's so important to play around with these costs and really consider, what if 30% of this is going to go to taxes, or 40%? Here in Europe, it's 50% taxes for self-employment. So if I'm left with, let's say, $33, taxes, I'm going to be at $15, minus going going to the post office and everything, I'm going to be working for $8 an hour. Nobody can survive on that anymore, not at least in the United States, in Canada, or in Europe. I mean, we really need to make sure that we get our costs together. Because I really want aromatherapists to survive and make a living and make a good business and all of this. But let's not blind ourselves and sell ourselves short as well, I think. Okay, so let's see. Tracy, do the production costs show up on the printout? I don't want it to, but just curious. It's cool. The field is multi-purpose. So yes, Tracy, they are actually showing up on the printout as well. But what we are working on, and let me know, it's a good question, because the printout right now, it's much more meant for your papers when you create your products and when you are well, basically putting it to your files. So the printout will show up, the cost will show up. Let me just show you. Okay, so let's say you do the printout. Let me go here. It's a bit slow, but it should be coming up. So yeah, here the production costs show up. So we are thinking actually, and that was one of our questions, I think, in one of our Blend Precisely questionnaires. Would you like to see actually one of these ones for just your clients, where you will only see basically not the recipe even, but just the ingredients? Or basically, I should ask that the other way around. What would you like to see on a PDF printout for your clients, Tracy, for example? So if you let us know what you would like to see on a printout, yeah, so that one, exactly. So this one is more for the files, not the customer, for you to see. But I can see the need and the use of an actual PDF printout, and that is going more almost towards an invoice or customers, where you want to maybe mention what the costs are, the final costs, but not necessarily, I would imagine, the production, the entire formulation, and the percentages which they are in, and so on. So I would imagine you want to have them see only some type almost of an invoice and instruction sheet. Yeah, so basically I'm just mumbling around and guessing around, but let us know what you want to see. Hello, Jean. Let's see. So I would like ingredients and use instructions, maybe properties. I would like so Jackie, you mean you would like to see the ingredients, not the formulation, and then the instructions on how to use it, right? So basically have like a customer-friendly printout as well. Donna says it would be nice to see the ingredients, the amounts, and possibly the date created. The date created, Donna, is on there. Let me just double check. The date created is already on the printout at the bottom. You have the date here, printed at least. Well, no, it's the date printed on 12/15 at 4:34 p.m. So you have this one here, which might equal the production date. So it's up to you. I can ask Seth actually. Yeah, so let me know if the date printed, Donna, here will do it. That would be good to know. And then, so yeah, Jackie, I get it exactly. So basically, have a customer-facing instruction sheet with what oils there are, and the properties. I know. It would be nice to see the ingredients, the amounts, and possibly the date. Okay, I didn't see the date. No, okay, yeah, that's all the way at the bottom. But again, this one is more for your files. So it was meant for, like, some people are still paper people and they put their client folders and you put your folder in there. You created the formulation. You maybe take the formulation printout to your formulation area and then you have it right next to you and then you put it into the client folder or the production folder. So that's what this PDF printout. So it was more for your files. But any kind of feedback in terms of what you would like to send to your clients, and if that is the case, do you send something to your client, do you copy and paste it out into emails and so on? So any kind of feedback like this would be great. And then feel free to send us an email as well. Any wishes, they are always welcome. All we can do right now is look at them, put them on the roadmap. If we get more wishes in, then we can compile them and push them to the top more and so on. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's how I use mine as well. I print them out, I take them to my production area, and then I put them into my client folder for now. But there are more options. And the safety concerns for the customers on it, yes. So they are also printed right now. They're available, they are printed. So they are mostly 2 pages, and the safety instructions, if you have them. And then, well, for now, what you could do, and that's going a little bit beyond, but that's just me thinking out loud. So when there are notes in safety or instructions, I actually copy and paste them just into my email then. But it would be, of course, nice to have just a separate sheet for customer-facing consultations or printouts. But that's definitely all gonna happen at one point. All right, so let me just go to the remaining announcements. There are not too many, but there's not going to be a live next week. And we will take a week off next week for preparation for the holiday season. And we also have like a few Christmas dinners plans. And so the next live is going to be on December 29th. And on that day, I really hope to share more about our roadmap for 2022, actually. I just need to see that I get everything together. And then the Rock Your Aromatherapy course start date is on January 3rd in 2022, not 2021. Never mind this one, 2022. So that is basically the starter course, the beginner course again, where you want to make sure who your client is, what you're going to sell, where your passion lies, and if all of this comes together. So the Rock Your Aromatherapy business starts definitely in January, because I think January is the best day to start something with good intention. And then we're going to move into February and much more is coming, but I'm probably going to talk about it on December 29th. And for the course, you just simply need to go to aromatherapist.club and it will guide you directly to the sign up of the Rock Your Aromatherapy course. So aromatherapist.club. So that's pretty much it. No live next week. And then I will definitely see you back on the 29th if you all survive the big Christmas dinner. Let me see. You didn't see this one again? Donna, that's how this is like crazy. Did you not see that slide again? Anyway, maybe it's not meant to be today to share any slides. So, yeah, Donna, that's a good thing. You really gotta want to get everything out of the way for this year, and then you're ready to go for next year for selling, marketing, and getting the business rolling into the good numbers. So I think that's a good idea to get everything done. And let's see. Oh, Jackie, you saw the slide. Perfect. Post what I would like as soon as my little grandson takes his nap. Okay, well, always family first. I think that's important. Yeah, let me know. Whatever you like to see on anything in Blend Precisely, let me know. I see, Donna. All good. Oh, you meant something in the slide. Okay, don't confuse me, Donna. I'm getting confused over here. Ladies, it was my pleasure. I hope this one is going to be a good one for you to use. And then let us know for next year for sure what you want to see more of. We've got our plan, but there's always wiggle room for everything. And I will definitely talk to some of you actually tomorrow, which is gonna be lovely. And yeah, Donna, you don't confuse me. I'm getting too old for this. Don't do that anymore. Or too tired, actually. It's the end of the year. All right. Well, I will talk to you in 2 weeks from now. And I really, really wish you all a wonderful holiday season. And Merry Christmas for the ones and happy holidays for the others. And I don't know what else is all good to go. But anyway, thanks for watching, and I will talk to you very soon. Bye, ladies. No, you're not too old, she says. Have a great rest. Thank you. Thank you, Jackie. See you tomorrow, Donna. Ciao, ciao. Getting